Hello, everybody, whenever, wherever. So, right now, it's still morning, not as early as I hoped for to come on live because we have it pretty hot here, and so I have to switch off the fans, otherwise that humming is a little bit disturbing. So, today, I would like to continue to talk a bit about the crosses and the ages, as well as how these crosses relate to the pole stars, the current shift we go through, and their significance in astrology. Because we always work with crosses, also with those, you may have heard the term, natal crosses. You can imagine them as kind of like the pillars, yeah, when you watch a spider making a web, yeah, you always have some kind of angle and then it webs around. So it's what we go in. I have prepared a Word document with all these things on it, and I hope I will not have to switch away from that because I didn't prepare that. So we go right into it, and it may be that there will be a second part or a continuous part of that, better said. I don't like to number them, but well, we'll see how far we get. Now I have to switch here to those slideshow things. There we go. So we have in astrology, we are using the crosses, but we also using the elements, and we use their rulers and so on. So we have here, we are talking about the fixed cross. It means it's fixed energy in the meaning of a solid, if you want. So we have these states of being fixed, cardinal, and mutable. So this one here is the fixed cross. So as you can see, we always have 4 signs in here. And so as we have 3 states, 3 times 4 is 12. So we have the 12 zodiac signs. And that's not about the constellations and the, let's say, the different opinions about other constellations that are actually also crossing the ecliptic. But let's stick to those 12 now. So in the fixed cross, we have Aquarius, we have Taurus, we have Leo, and we have Scorpio. And as you can see, the last time we were in any fixed cross that was here around 4163 to 1973 BC. And the next one will be the famous Age of Aquarius, which according to my data will start in a few hundred years in the year 2358 and will last until 4491. Scorpio will be right the next one after Aquarius. So, and Leo was, about 11,000 years ago, 12,000 years ago, yeah, over that, yeah, when it ended. So just 10,000 something years ago. So we look here at Taurus, yeah. In that time, the pole star was Tuban, yeah, and because the equinoxes shift because of the wobble, as I explained in my first video, we also have the pole stars shifting, yeah. It's not always exact, but it's close. And there will be times when I don't know what stars we are using, or maybe in the future we don't need to use stars anymore for navigation. But yeah, there will come times where there are only dim stars around the pole, the North Pole. At the moment, we have this phenomena with the South Pole. So, as you can see, here we were in the age of Taurus, but in the middle, or near the middle, but in that time there was quite an alignment, not exact as you can see, but close. So that was that time when they used Tuban as pole star. Tuban is in the constellation of Draco. So Tuban is Alpha Draconis. And please, those who are talking about whatever kind of extraterrestrials and then saying these are the bad ones and those are the good ones, I would say look at Earth. We don't only have good and not only have bad beings either. So let's go on to the Cardinal Cross. In the Cardinal Cross, its ages are a bit different. And the signs, so we have Capricorn, we have Aries, we have Cancer, and we have Libra. So the last time we were in a Cardinal Cross, that was when we were in the age of Aries, and that is fire and ruled by Mars, and that was in the time, it was the previous age of the one we are in. So it started in BC and lasted into AD. And then we came into the age of Pisces. But that's mutable. So stay in the cardinal here. So as you can see, the next time we will be in any cardinal cross that will start in a couple thousand years plus, right? So in that time, for Aries, the pole star was of Ursa Minor, and the star was called Berkat. So, and then because they are close together, they was also pop up. So as you can see down here, we have here for pop up, we have here 17 degrees and 25 degrees while we were in the age of Aries. So, oh, and maybe I should explain too, yeah, that the age is like the equator, if you want, yeah, and the pole stars, of course, are the poles, and so when we go back, when we are in the age of Aries, or when we were, then the in the northern hemisphere, it means that the spring equinox was in Aries and the autumn equinox was in Libra in autumn, in September. And here we then have the North and South Pole, yeah? So North was in Cancer back then. As you can see here, yeah? So we had here hook up at 17 degrees and hook up at 25 degrees, which means that was used, Perka was used a little bit into the next age because it's at the later part of Cancer. So that was here in 1660 BC, was on 25 degrees, the equinox. So this was the pole star 25 degrees. Also not exact, but we don't get. We have the next cross, it's the one we are in now, the Mutable Cross. It means that we have moved to the liquid. Yeah? So it's of water and we are here, age of Pisces. Yeah? And as you can see, there is a lot of other stuff around in those signs, right? So we also have, as I already was talking about a few times, that the South Galactic Pole is also in Pisces, and our spring equinox. And we have the poles here. We have the North Celestial Pole, and we have the South Celestial Pole. We have the galactic center nearby, the solar apex. So it's really, in Virgo we have the supergalactic center, we have the North Galactic Pole, and so that's what it means when I said that the crosses are overlaying. And the galactic cross doesn't move, or maybe it does, but very, very slow. Yeah? It takes the sun millions of years to go around the galactic center. Yeah? So that is not comparable in Earth years, if you want. Yeah. So you can see the ages. What is important to see is that we have those alignments with the galactic cross only every 6,000 plus years. And I think these alignments are much more important and shifting in energy than is the actual sign or constellation that the equinoxes are in. Of course, they mark important shifts, but they do all the time. It's also that early in a sign or in the first 5 degrees of a sign or the later part of an age is very different than the middle or the beginning. There are totally different other constellations and stars involved. So then also that will be another time I will make a post or a presentation about that, is that the depiction, how they drew or saw the constellations, has also changed over time. There are some, they have been pretty stable for thousands of years, and others, they have changed. So it's really important to note that those galactic alignments with the poles and the Milky Way, or let's say the galactic equator, is very, very important, more than how we call the stars or what kind of picture we see in them. So, 6,000 years or a bit more, and now we are changing. So, and our pole star is one in Gemini called Polaris. I guess most of you know that. Oh, so where is it? Here. So at the moment, this is from this year, as you can see. So we are in Age of Pisces, and Polaris is here about 1 degree away. It's just how it is. And you can even read that in any navigational website, or I guess many people who are sailing or use or have the information for whatever kind of navigational tool, they know about this fact. So, well, now in astrology, we also do have crosses. As I mentioned before, it's the rising and setting stars, so the ascendant and descendant, that means that's the equator. And we have the MC and IC axis, which we could look at the poles if you want. It's the midheaven and the Immaculate, so it's the lowest part of the sky, if you want, yeah, the lowest, the highest, and the equator. So these are the crosses, and we have them everywhere, right? As we know from physics, from quantum physics, it's all related, right? It's kind of fractal, if you want. So we have the same as we have it in the big, we have it in the very small. And so our horoscope, our birth charts represent one of those fractals in relation to the crosses. And I think that is a very important, interesting fact if we really truly think about it. So now that was all for today, which I really, really wanted to present and talk about. And as I said, I go back here. I will continue with these presentations and try to explain more about how these things work together and why the astrology is not really separate from astronomy. And so, yeah, I had the idea. I don't know if I really get to do that, but I have this idea of making maybe weekly or bi-weekly some kind of astrology presentation with the energies around, with cycles, and just what is coming up. I do the normal new moon and full moon posts in written form as before, but I think maybe an additional video once in a while could be something I enjoy doing and maybe you enjoy watching. I hope so. So for now, that's all, the bottoms. And I will also link my website as usual. And also there on my website, you can find donation things too. So if you should want to and be able to support this channel. So thank you all, and